made it here. And that matters more than you know. The very fact that you pressed play tonight, that you sought out something gentle and good for yourself, that you gave yourself permission to stop and finally rest, that is not nothing. That is an act of care, a quiet act of courage. Because when we are emotionally exhausted, even the smallest good choice takes something out of us. And you made one tonight. You chose this. You chose to try. I see that, dear one. And I want you to know that this hour belongs entirely to you, not to the people who need things from you, not to the problems that are waiting for your attention, not to the version of yourself that has to be strong and capable and put together for everyone else. This hour belongs to the real you, the one who is tired in a way that ordinary sleep cannot always fix, the one who has been carrying things that most people cannot see, the one who sometimes wonders quietly in the still moments how much longer she can keep going like this, how much longer he can keep holding it all together before something gives. I want to speak to that person tonight. Not the performance of you, not the capable, managing, showing up anyway version. The real you, the one who is here right now, underneath all of it. My name is Clara, and I am going to stay with you through every minute of this. You will not be alone tonight. And by the time this hour is over, something in you will be quieter, softer, and more at rest than when we began. Not because I am extraordinary, but because the God who loves you has already been working on this, already preparing this rest for you, already saying, even now, in the quietest room of your heart, come and let me hold you for a while. You have been so strong for so long. It is time to rest. So let us begin. Let us begin right here, right where you are, with everything that you actually are tonight. First, I want to name what emotional exhaustion actually is, because sometimes it helps just to hear someone say the true thing out loud, to feel recognized in what you are experiencing rather than alone and confused by it. Emotional exhaustion is not the same as physical tiredness, though it almost always lives in the body too. It is a different kind of tired. It is the tired that comes from caring deeply over a long time, from giving consistently without enough receiving, from holding space for other people's pain and need and difficulty, from navigating circumstances that are heavy and complicated and do not resolve on the timeline you hoped for. It is the tired that comes from fighting battles that are invisible to everyone else, from being strong in public and falling apart only in private, from keeping the whole machinery of a life running when every gear in you is grinding. It is the kind of tiredness that does not go away after one good night of sleep, the kind that makes ordinary things feel enormous, the kind that steals your enthusiasm for things you used to love, the kind that makes you feel distant from yourself, like there is glass between you and your own life. It is the kind that sometimes makes you wonder whether the person you used to be, the one with energy and lightness and genuine joy, is still in there somewhere, or whether that person has simply been used up. She is still in there. He is still in there. You are not lost. You are not broken. You are not too far gone to come back from this. You are depleted, and depletion is not permanent. It is a condition, not a destiny. It is where you are right now, not where you will always be. And tonight, the work of restoration begins quietly, gently, without effort from you. While you rest, get comfortable now, dear one. Truly, honestly comfortable in whatever way that means for your body tonight. If you need to shift positions, shift. If you need to pull a blanket closer around you, do that. If you have been clenching your jaw or holding your breath or tensing your shoulders without realizing it, let all of those things go right now. This space is yours. You do not have to be still in any particular way or feel any particular feeling. You do not have to perform relaxation or demonstrate peace. You can simply settle into the most honest version of comfortable that your body can find right now, and we will start from exactly there. Take a breath in, slowly, and let it out, even more slowly, and just notice, without judgment, how your body feels tonight. There is no right answer. There is no wrong answer. You might feel tense. You might feel heavy or hollow or numb. You might feel a complicated mix of sadness and relief at finally having permission to stop. Whatever is true for you right now is exactly what we are beginning with. All of it is welcome here. None of it will be asked to leave before it is ready. I want to speak to something specific, something that emotional exhaustion tends to do to our sense of who we are before we go any further. When we are emotionally exhausted, we often stop recognizing ourselves. We find ourselves reacting in ways that surprise and disappoint us. We have less patience than we want to have. We feel disconnected from the things that once brought us real joy. We go through the motions of our lives while something inside feels very far away, like it packed a bag and left while we were not paying attention. We wonder whether we are depressed or just tired, or whether this is simply who we have become now. We look in the mirror and the eyes looking back seem a little glazed, a little distant, a little hollow in a way we cannot quite explain to anyone, because the people who love us would tell us we look fine, and somehow that only makes it lonelier. And then we feel guilty about all of it. On top of the exhaustion, we pile the weight of feeling like we are failing at the basic task of being ourselves. We add self-criticism to the load as if criticism were the thing that was missing. I want to release you from that guilt tonight, dear one, with as much gentleness as I can hold in my voice and put into these words. I want to release you from it. You are not failing. You are not broken. You are not becoming someone lesser. You are someone who has given and given and given from a well that was never meant to be the only source, and the well has run low. That is not a character flaw. That is a human reality. And the God who created you knew it would happen, knew that human hearts have limits, knew that people who love deeply and give fully and carry much would eventually arrive at exactly this place, and He did not leave you here without an answer. He said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." He said, "When your well is empty, come to mine." He said, "I will be a spring of living water in you, welling up, not running dry." Those words are ancient and they are alive tonight, and they are for you, specifically and personally, in the exact shape of your exact exhaustion. Tonight is your coming. Tonight is your arriving at the well, and the water is here. It has been waiting for you. Let your eyes close gently now, if they are not already, and let the darkness behind your eyelids be a kind of permission, a sign that the world is asking nothing of you right now. The darkness is restful. The darkness is safe. The darkness is the space where real things happen quietly, where seeds send down roots before there is any visible growth, where healing works its slow and certain miracle beneath the surface of what we can see or feel or measure. Take a slow breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, and let the exhale be longer than the inhale. Let the exhale carry something out with it. Whatever has been sitting in your chest today, that tightness, that ache, that unnamed heaviness that you have been hauling around without being able to put a name to it, let it ride out on the exhale. You do not have to name it tonight. You do not have to understand it or resolve it or make sense of it. You just have to exhale slowly and let it go. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Each breath a small act of surrender. Each exhale a small release. Each inhale a small receiving of something good, something clean, something that belongs in the lungs of a person who is loved and held and safe. Let me walk through your body now, slowly and with care, because emotional exhaustion does not stay in the mind or the heart alone. It lives in the body. It settles into the places we forget to check, accumulates in the spaces between effort and recovery, hardens into the muscles that have been tensing and bracing and holding on for too long without a real chance to let go. Start with your feet. I want you to notice them and then release them completely. These feet have carried you through so much. Through every morning you dragged yourself out of bed when you did not think you had it in you. Through every day you showed up even when everything in you wanted to disappear. Through all the ordinary, extraordinary difficulty of a life being lived through a hard season, your feet have been faithful to you. They are allowed to rest now. Let every muscle in them soften and go still. Let them sink into the bed. They are done for tonight. Let that softness move slowly up into your ankles, your calves. Feel any tightness in your calves acknowledge itself and then let go. You are horizontal now. Gravity is doing the work. There is nothing to brace against. Your legs do not need to hold you up right now. Everything that has been holding itself up can finally come down. Let your knees soften. Your thighs grow heavy and warm and still. Let your hips sink into the mattress. Your lower back. Notice what is there. How much tension has gathered in that place without your awareness. And then let it release slowly, one layer at a time, like tension draining out through the soles of your feet and into the earth beneath the bed. Let your stomach soften, your abdomen. The belly is where we hold so much of our anxiety without realizing it, where the body braces itself against what might be coming, where the chronic low-level fear of the overwhelmed person lives in physical form. You can unclench now. There is nothing coming for you in this room tonight. You are as safe as you are ever going to be. Let your belly go soft and open and moving freely with your breath. Let your chest breathe all the way in, into the upper chest, into the places that shallow, anxious breathing never reaches, and then all the way out. The chest is where we carry our grief and our longing and the things we have held inside for longer than they were meant to be held. Let it move, let it open, let it breathe. You do not have to keep any of that compressed inside you tonight. There is room to let it expand and then release, expand and release over and over all night long. Let your shoulders fall. Please, dear one, let your shoulders come down. They may have been up near your ears for weeks or months or longer, bracing against difficulty, armoring against pain, trying in their quiet, muscular way to protect you from things that muscles cannot actually protect you from. Let them release that vigilance tonight. Roll them back gently if that helps. And then let them drop. Let them be heavy. Let them rest completely. Someone else has the watch tonight. Someone who does not grow weary of watching, who is far better at it than tense shoulders have ever been. Let your arms grow heavy, your elbows, your wrists, your hands. Let your hands uncurl and go open. Let your fingers spread slightly and then still. There is nothing to grip tonight, nothing to hold on to by force. Everything you love is safe in hands far stronger than yours. Everything you fear is in the hands of the one who holds all things. Your hands can be empty right now, open and soft and receiving, rather than holding and grasping and managing. Let your neck release. The muscles along the sides of your neck that have been tense every time a difficult thought passed through today. Let them go. Let your head be heavy on the pillow and let the pillow hold it completely. Let your jaw release. Let some space come between your back teeth. Let your tongue drop from the roof of your mouth. Let your lips soften. So much of what we carry in a day is held in the jaw, in the set of the face, in the 1,000 small expressions of effort and concern and keeping it together that pass across our features without our noticing. Your face can be completely neutral now, completely at rest. There is no expression required, no one watching. Only you and the night and the love that fills this room. Let your scalp relax. The small muscles across the top of your head, your temples, the space between your brows. Let everything smooth out. Let everything soften. Let everything go. From the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, you are releasing now. Your body is being held by the bed beneath you, by the earth beneath the bed, by a love beneath the earth that holds all created things in existence. And it is enough. You are held from every direction. You do not have to hold yourself up. You never had to do it alone. And tonight, you finally do not have to try. Let yourself be held completely, without resistance, without reservation. Just let yourself be completely held. Now, I want to speak to the emotional heart of what you might be carrying tonight. The specific kinds of weight that tend to live inside emotional exhaustion. I do not know your story in its particulars, but I know something about the shape of this kind of tired because it tends to be made of similar things, even when the details look different from person to person. It might be the exhaustion of loving someone through something hard, a parent, a child, a partner, a friend who is suffering and whom you cannot fix. The particular exhaustion of showing up day after day for someone who needs you, of pouring out love and energy and care while quietly carrying the weight of helplessness underneath all of it. The loneliness of watching someone you love struggle while everything you can offer never feels quite like enough. If that is part of what you carry tonight, hear this. The love you have given has not been wasted, not a drop of it. The God who sees everything sees exactly what it has cost you, and He does not call it small. He calls it beautiful. He calls it sacred. He calls it the image of His own love made visible in human form. Or it might be the exhaustion of a season that just will not end, a difficulty that you thought would be resolved by now and has not been, a waiting that has stretched on past every timeline you hoped for and made up and revised and finally gave up making. The particular grinding depletion of continuing to hope when hope is costly and the return on it keeps being delayed, of continuing to trust when evidence is scarce and the difficulty is ongoing. If you are in a long, slow season that refuses to turn, dear one, you are not forgotten. He who promised is faithful. Seasons end. Every single one eventually turns. Even this one, even the one that has felt eternal, or it might be the exhaustion of too much, all at once, for too long. Too many roles, too many responsibilities, too many people needing too many things, and you in the middle of all of it, trying to be enough for everyone while secretly running on fumes. The exhaustion of the person who is quietly disappearing at the edges while holding everything together at the center. If that is you, dear one, I want to say this with all the directness I can manage. You are allowed to have needs too. You are not only a container for other people's needs. You are a person, a complete, full, irreplaceable person with your own needs and your own limits and your own requirement for care. That is not weakness. That is humanity. And a God who became human understands it from the inside. Or it might simply be the exhaustion of existing in a world that asks too much and gives back too little. The draining effect of chronic overstimulation, chronic demands, chronic noise, chronic comparison, the grief of feeling like you have somehow lost access to the version of yourself who could feel genuine delight, who could laugh without effort, who could be moved by beauty without having to work for it. That person is not gone. She is resting beneath the exhaustion the way the land rests beneath the snow in winter. He is preserved beneath the weight of this season, alive in ways that are invisible from the outside, already leaning toward the light that is coming. The light is coming, dear one. The morning is already on its way. I want you to do something with whatever you are carrying tonight. Not analyze it or solve it or process it into perfect emotional health. Just this one small and powerful thing. Picture your weight in whatever form feels true as something physical you are holding in your arms. Some people imagine it as a heavy box. some as a pile of stones, each one a different worry or grief or unanswered question, some as something shapeless and pressing, a kind of darkness held against the chest. Picture it however it comes and hold it for a moment. Just acknowledge it. Yes, this is real. This is mine. I have been carrying this, and it is heavy, and it is true. And now, dear one, I want you to hand it over. Not throw it away, not minimize it, not pretend it does not exist or is not as heavy as it feels. Just transfer it from your arms, which were not built to carry this much for this long, to the arms of the one who was built for exactly this, who invites you specifically to cast your cares upon him, because he cares for you, not for humanity in general, for you, specifically, by name, with full knowledge of what you are carrying and how long you have been carrying it and what it has cost you. Hand it over, dear one. Feel your arms go empty. Feel your chest go lighter. Breathe into that emptiness and let it become space. Not absence, but space. Space for something else to enter. Something that heals rather than depletes. Something that fills rather than empties. Something that has been waiting at the door for exactly this opening. Jesus is here, dear one. I want to say that plainly, without ceremony, the way you might say it to someone you love who has forgotten it in the fog of a long and difficult stretch. Jesus is here, not as a concept, not as a distant theological category. Here, present, in this room, in this quiet, in the small space between one breath and the next. He is here the way a person is here, with attention and care and specific love for the specific person in front of him, which tonight is you. He does not require you to be recovered before you come to him. He does not require your faith to be strong or your theology to be complete or your doubts to be resolved before he shows up. He came for the sick, not the well. He said that himself, and the emotionally exhausted, the burned out, the depleted, the ones who have given everything they have and found themselves emptied out. These are exactly the ones he had in mind when he said it. He is not disappointed in your exhaustion. He is not looking at your emptiness with a checklist of what you should have done differently to avoid arriving here. He is looking at you the way he looked at the crowds who followed him into the wilderness, the ones he looked at and felt deep compassion for because they were harassed and helpless. He is moved by your exhaustion, not frustrated by it, moved by it, and moved toward you. The same Jesus who wept at Lazarus's tomb, who felt everything, who was not above grief or exhaustion or the full weight of human emotion, who said in the garden, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow," that Jesus is in this room tonight. The one who knows from the inside what it is to carry more than feels bearable. The one who understands not just theoretically, but experientially what it costs to love people in a broken world for a long time without giving up. He is here. He has been here all along, and he is not going anywhere. Let the reality of his presence settle over you now. Like the warmest, heaviest, most comforting blanket you have ever known. And let yourself exhale into it. You do not have to do anything with this right now. You do not have to pray the right words or feel the right feelings or manufacture the appropriate spiritual response. You can simply receive, lie there and receive. Open your heart the way you open a window on the first warm day of spring, not by working at it, but by simply removing the barrier and letting something good come in. He is good, dear one, so good. And what he is offering tonight is rest, not just the rest of sleep, though that too, something deeper, soul rest, the kind the world did not make and cannot take away. Let me speak some truths over you now, not as a theology lesson, but as living water for the dry places. Let each one arrive slowly. Let it land. Let it spread. Do not try to hold them all or memorize them or do anything useful with them. Just let them fall on you the way rain falls on ground that has been waiting. You are not required to be unbreakable. God never asked you to be. He asked you to come to him when you were broken. Those are very different invitations. The one who comes broken to the source of all healing is not failing at faith. She is practicing it. He is practicing it at its most honest and most courageous. Your limits are not a design flaw. They were built in on purpose. They are the shape of your creatureliness, the reminder that you are not the one holding everything together, that there is one who does that, and you are not him. Your limits are not the problem. They are the invitation back to the one who has no limits and who loves to be needed by the people he loves. The love you have given is not lost. Every act of care, every night you showed up when you had nothing left, every time you chose love when selfishness would have been easier and more sustainable, none of it disappeared. The God who sees everything has seen all of it. He does not call it wasted. He calls it sacred. He holds all of it in his hands. Healing is real and it is happening, even when you cannot feel it, even when the evidence is thin, even in the nights when you feel no different and no better than the night before. Healing is a direction, not an event, a process, not a moment, and the direction is always toward wholeness when it is in his hands. Jesus loves you, simply and completely and without condition. He loved you before you were lovable, and he loves you now in your most depleted moment, and he will love you in every moment between this one and the last one. And that love is not something you can talk him out of, or exhaust him out of, or disappoint him out of. It is who he is, and it is entirely yours. I want to take you somewhere peaceful now. A place that your body cannot go, but your imagination can, and the places the heart can go are not small or less real for being imagined. Let this place come to you as I describe it. Imagine a garden at the end of a long, golden afternoon. Not a formal or manicured garden, but a living, generously growing one. The kind that feels like it has been here for 100 years and is not in any hurry about anything. There is an old stone wall along one edge covered in moss. Beyond the wall, the land rolls gently away into warm, soft distance. The light here is the particular golden light of late afternoon and early summer, the kind that makes everything it touches look lit from within. Flowers grow here in abundance, lavender releasing its calming scent into the warm air, roses dark and rich, small wildflowers whose names you do not know but whose colors make your heart glad. The air moves just enough to stir the tallest grasses, just enough to carry fragrance from one corner to another. Somewhere in the distance, a bird is singing. Bees move slowly and contentedly from bloom to bloom. There is an old wooden bench against the far